Hey everyone, and welcome to your January 2023 readings. I hope that this year is off to a really great start for you. We're going to get right into it, so I'm just going to say a couple things really quickly. If this message resonates with you, please consider giving it a like. This is a new channel I'm going to be spending a lot more time building, and it kind of helps it out, so that would be appreciated. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing as well, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more content. There's going to be full moon readings, new moon readings, plus the monthly readings and some astrology stuff on the horizon for 2023. Also, if you're not following me over on Instagram, consider following me over there, just because I hop on and do something monthly that I'm bringing back called Cards and Cocktails, which is just really fun to do. I also do random readings. I just pop on and decide that I want to do that. So if you want kind of like free quickie readings, that's a good place to find me. Last thing I'll say is if you want to book a personal reading with me, all of that information is down below. So I'll see you in the reading. Bye. Hey Taurus, and welcome to your January 2023 the reading. 2023, that's going to be one that is going to take a while for me to get used to saying. So let's get into it. We're going to check out the beginning, middle, and end of the month for you to see what's just how the month progresses so that you know what to expect. All right, interesting. These are just flying out for you guys. Love it. I love when that happens. Okay. So let's check this out first, and then we're going to take a look at what challenge is really coming up for you, and then we'll get some spiritual advice for that as well, right? So, all right, Aries. At the beginning of the month, we have the Death card that's showing up for you, right? Now, Death card, I know that some people can just like have a negative connotation with the Death card. Death card I actually see is really positive. You know, like we're coming into this beginning of the year, right? It's the beginning of the Gregorian calendar year. So this is when most people are creating their intentions for the year, creating their goals, right? Like a lot of people do that. I know not everyone does, but this is a typical time. I love the shine on this. This is a typical time for people to do that, right? So this means a lot of letting go of the old and bringing in what is new, right? Making space. It's kind of like spring cleaning, right? Just kind of like whatever doesn't serve anymore, right? We just had, right before coming into the beginning of January, about a couple days before, we had some interesting aspects astrologically, but specifically the ones that were with Pluto and Venus. And it's like, if anything is going to show us what we definitely want and what we definitely don't want, it's going to be Pluto and Venus for sure. And they were conjunct, and for like about a day, basically, they were like moving up to conjunct, and they had traveled together for a little bit. So, you know, just like that might have kind of given you a really big clear understanding, whether that felt like a smack in the head or whether it just felt like an epiphany. You probably got some insight about what relationships, friendships, projects, career path, life path, all kinds of different things, right? Like all the different areas of life, like what really stood out to you and feeling like it was going to, you know, to be like what you wanted to commit to and what you didn't want to commit to. Remember, we still have a lot of things that are in Capricorn right now. I'm talking tropical, just because like I'm not bringing sidereal too much to the forefront right now, but that's on the horizon. We'll save that for later. Anyway, we've got a lot of that kind of energy going on. So it's like, what are you committing to and what are you not, right? And the things that are just like dead weight, you got to let them go. So at the beginning of this month, this is a time for you to clear things out, which also just kind of matches where things are at astrologically until about mid-month anyways, right? The first like couple of weeks of the month, it's just like we've got some energy of things that are just like slowed down. We're going to have Mars come direct a little bit after the beginning or the middle of the month. So, you know, that might help things out, which is for you, interestingly enough. And part of the reason that I even say that is because you have the Knight in the Knight of Cups, but the Knight in the middle of the month, right? And this is like boldly going forward, moving action towards what you want in life, like what you feel that you deeply want in life, right? This is not just you know, I don't know, like really mundane day-to-day, maybe it's day-to-day, but like really mundane kind of wants. I'm talking about like what you really want to create for your life, what feels good to you, right? The cups are about our emotions and about what feels good, right? And the knights are, you know, about action. They're rushing into the fray, right? So there's movement, there's action, and there's typically quick action, but this is moving towards what you want to be creating. And I think that you're really going to be able to make space for that if you really commit to allowing whatever needs to go, right? So then we move into the end of the month, and I love the end of the month for you, Taurus. This is definitely like, it reminds me of a very Taurus-like card, right? We have the 9 of Pentacles, right? Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles is like, I got me, right? I've got me. I know my value. I know my worth, right? We're talking about Taurus ruled by Venus, right? So this is all like what you value, valuing yourself, like the earthly delights, right? What you're creating, what you're materializing in your world. And it's like, you know, definitely when we're looking at the Pentacles, this is like the coins, right? So it's like, I got my coins, I've got my shit together, or at least you're starting to feel like it. Like you may not necessarily be there where you're like, oh yeah, I've got it together, but you're starting to feel like, oh yeah, I'm making progress. Like I'm moving in the direction, right? I'm moving in the direction of what it is that I want, right? I've let go of some shit that was no longer serving me, maybe some toxic stuff or some things that were just like heavy. Let those things go. I'm moving towards what I really want in my life. And here I am, like you get to the end of the month and you're starting to feel like, yeah, okay. Like even if you're not there yet, you're starting to maybe value yourself more. You're starting to recognize like, yeah, no, I'm the shit. I'm fucking awesome. You know? And so you're just moving in the direction where you're going to like start to feel like things are really coming together for you by the end of this month, which I love. I'm really loving this for you. Now, obviously, this is a collective reading, so this isn't going to apply for every Taurus sun, every Taurus rising, every Taurus moon. So, you know, just take that into account. If this resonates with you, awesome. Then it was your message for this month. If it doesn't, then, you know, check out one of your other signs. If this is your sun sign, check out your rising, you know, or get a personal reading. And that's how you can ensure that you're going to really get specifically down to like the nuts and bolts of like, what is it for you, right? So let's take a look at what is coming up as a challenge, like along the way over the course of this month, something that's really going to stick out as feeling like it is a challenge for you. I'm actually not feeling that one. I'm feeling this one here. So we have the 7 of Wands. Interesting. Okay, I'm getting a couple things on that. Actually, let's start there before we get into your spiritual advice. I'm really feeling like the message coming through for this. So we've got the 7 of Wands, right? 7 of Wands is like, you know, you had to go through some shit to get to the level that you're at now. It's like, okay, I have upgraded, I have up-leveled, and now I'm at this place where I've got to hold my ground, right? So, you know, if you've ever noticed in life, sometimes you reach like a new next level in your life, whether it's your career or like personal growth or like whatever it is. And even the most well-meaning of people in our lives, they don't necessarily intend to, but they can kind of just, maybe tug at our, like, what's that old saying? Tug at the tailcoats, right? Like they can tug on our pants, like kind of try to hold our leg, hold us back, right? Not intentionally, but they might be kind of doing that. Or you might have people like, you know, they say once you become more visible, right? Once you're like more, in the limelight, in the spotlight, then people, there's more quote unquote haters that come out, right? So you might have some pushback. And so this is you just kind of like, no, I've reached this new level and I'm holding my ground, which I feel like is really connected to what we're seeing over here, right? Like it follows this all very smoothly and very well that we're moving in this direction, right? So now this is a challenge. For some of you, this might feel like exhausting, or it might feel like the temptation to kind of pull back and fall back into where you were before, or whatever it was that you had to let go of before might feel like it's like, oh, you're feeling like kind of tugged in this direction, and it might feel a little bit difficult for you to kind of hold your ground, right? This is going to feel like a challenge in some way. It might test your newly found kind of self-worth and like upgraded self-worth that you have, or your like new me, you know, I'm feeling myself, right? You might be feeling yourself and feeling like you're being challenged. Can you stay in that energy? Can you stay in that space and not be dragged down or dragged back or dragged into some, you know, situation or whatever it was that you were in before? So this is something that is going to feel like a challenge. I feel like that's all really clear, but let's also just get some spiritual advice so that we can take a look at, you know, just some extra, okay, some extra. So, some extra. Yeah, we've got the Ace of Stars. Now, the Ace of Stars in this particular deck is actually the Ace of Pentacles. So this is really just this beautiful opportunity to like recognize the abundance and what you're actually being given, right? You notice that right here we have coming out of the ethers, right? That's what symbolizes like the clouds, is like it comes from an ethereal place, some other dimension, other worldly place, whatever your beliefs are, that like, you know, whoever your higher power, whatever it is that you believe in, it's like you're getting assistance, right? Like they're coming in and like gifting you this beautiful, like these beautiful opportunities. And, you know, it's also to recognize, look at the beautiful garden that you have down here below. It's like you already have such abundance in your life. Recognize your internal abundance and also your external abundance. For some reason, I'm getting for like a strong, hey, for some of you or for one of you, there's like a recognize your internal abundance specifically. And I don't use these terms lightly. I know that they're way overused. Like, believe me, I have a challenging time using words that I've used for many years because of how overplayed they are. But, you know, we have a certain lexicon that we use. So I like, this is the best way that I can describe it, you know, but look at what you can be, not just grateful for, but what you can have an appreciation for, right? Appreciating what you have already and what you can work with already. You have the seed for what it is that you want to actually go towards and what you want to grow within yourself and in life, right? And so here we have these opportunities that are being presented. So recognize the opportunities that you're being given. Make sure that you keep your eyes open. It's like, you know, people sometimes say like, oh, I just, you know, I wish I could get messages, or I wish I could get omens, or I wish, and it's like, you can, everyone can. You literally just need to be in practice of like keeping your eyes and ears open and recognizing the messages that are coming through. So just keep your eyes and ears and senses open for the opportunities, the messengers, you know, and the messengers could be like the checkout, the cashier person at your Whole Foods or whatever, right? So it doesn't really matter where it comes from, just recognizing that you have messages, you have opportunities that are being presented to you. Now, you may actually have some physical money that comes through. You may have some opportunity specifically that comes through that you've been really kind of hoping for, or even this could be a person. So if you're looking at this in terms of like love as well, we could say that, you know, this is maybe, especially actually if we're talking about with love, I'd say, let that ex go. Let the ex go. This is about bringing in the new energy and going towards a love that is actually really beautiful. So I was kind of more doing a general reading, but for anyone who's kind of, you know, looking for how could I apply this to love, it's like, you know that this is done. Let this go, move towards what it is that you love, and know your worth and your value. Like, really be about your worth and your value, and stay in that place and don't let yourself be dragged down by that. Like, stay at that higher position and know that new opportunities are going to come through. Now that's for love. I was reading it the other way before, but I want to try to cover all the ground. So that's what I've got for you this month, Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. Also, if this resonated with you, please give it a like. It helps the channel. I'm going to be building this channel more this year and putting out more content, so it really helps me out. Subscribe if you want to be here for the new and full moons and know when those come out, and also the astrology stuff that I'm going to have on the horizon. Follow me on Instagram if you want to just kind of like do lives with me. I like to do lives with tarot there. And yeah, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.